What's up, guys? Iceman here. So, there's been a lot of chatter about trading in Diablo 4 and how, where things stand currently, we're not going to be able to trade legendary and unique items with one another. We can trade rares and magics and probably other shitty things, but we cannot trade legendaries and uniques. They're going to all be bound on account, just like how it is in Diablo 3, basically. I don't know if there's going to be a timer where we can trade it with our group members in the party for X duration of time or not. I'm not sure of those details. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have any idea. But the thing is, what this debate is really about, it's not an argument of should we be able to trade with each other, but it's an argument of whether or not people should be able to buy items, not only items, but the best items in the game for that matter, with real money and use them, all right? That's really what this debate is about. Because we've seen it with Diablo for the past 20 years with Diablo 2, and we've seen it with World of Warcraft. People buy gold on who knows how many third-party websites exist for that. So that's really what it boils down to, although I do have a solution that's better than anything you guys have ever heard, and I'll get to that in just a minute here. But don't you find it annoying when you're in a group, say it's day 2 of the ladder, day 3 of the ladder, you wake up the next day and one of your acquaintances in your group all of a sudden has Heart of the Oak, Shaco, Enigma. Are you kidding me? And in some cases, Infinity. They have a torch already. They have an Annie already. And then you're like, oh, cool. Wow. That's nice, man. Where'd you get that stuff? And he's like, I found it in the pit. Found it in Chaos Sanctuary. Found the torch in the Frigid Highlands from Shank. You're like, oh, cool. Wow. Wow, good job. Yeah, that's really impressive. Good job. And you're all trying to be legit, right? Like, you know that there's endless third-party websites that sell all this shit for bottom dollar, basically. But your group is trying to somewhat stay legit in that they're not using real-world money to buy in-game items. They're not breaking that fourth wall, if you will. All right? Because I think there's all sorts of problems that come along with that. Because what it boils down to, man, as much as it pains for me to say it, when it comes to comparing your items to your peers, and when it comes to things like dueling, all right, or just achieving great standards for endgame, whatever that endgame is for D4, whoever is willing to put the most money into it, those are the ones who generally are going to be doing the best. They're going to be leading the duel boards, all right? They're going to be achieving the most challenging endgame content. It's the ones who are willing to throw the most money at it. When you have open trading, because you can't have open trading without having the items being sold on third-party websites. And this sort of, these things, what they incentivize bots. When people can make money on the items in game, it incentivizes bots. So then what potentially comes along with that is we get the bots ruling the games once again, just like how it is in D2 or D2R or Project Diablo 2 even for that matter. All the mods, it's all over the place. People are buying the gear like crazy, and they're ruling the leaderboards and everything else. So if that's what you want, then I can understand why you'd wage for open trading, because that's what you get with it, unfortunately. Whether or not we like it, they're not going to stop it. They're not going to stop the bots. They're not going to take down all these third-party websites. Even if they didn't, or even if they did, you could still sell your shit to other people by word of mouth, things of that sort. Use WhatsApp app and shit like that, Venmo and all that shit. There's going to be a lot of selling and buying of items. So you don't earn it. You know what I mean? And in my opinion, when you buy the items, like you could say, well, I think it's a great idea to use real world money to buy all the items. For one, it creates such a massive imbalance where are the goalposts? Like you have the ones who are dueling, the ones who bought all their shit with money, and you're the one who found all your shit legit, and you're going to get your ass kicked every time. It's like there's no goalposts all of a sudden. It's just a bunch of chaos. And as far as I see it, the gaming experience is a journey. It's not. When you buy yourself to the end, especially in a game like Diablo, where most of the game is centered around all your items, the cool stuff that you found, if you just buy all that end game shit, the game's pretty much over, man. You might as well quit. You get bored fast. I'm pretty sure a lot of us has been there. Let me know in the comments if you have before. But in a game that's centered around finding items, once you get all those items, it's game over. All right? To a greater or lesser extent. So it's not about just reaching to that pinnacle and surpassing it. The enjoyment, as far as I see it. The enjoyment is the achieving it. The enjoyment is the earning it. You know what I mean? Like I've played classic World of Warcraft. The furthest I've gotten in that is level 45, 46 or something like that. Everyone's rushing to the end, paying the bots gold and all this shit. And they're missing out on all the amazing content. They're missing out on the Dead Mines. They're missing out on the Scarlet Monastery and the group effort it takes to achieve such things. And you get a great dopamine spike, man, when you achieve the Dead Mines without the help of a fucking bot. You get a great sense of achievement when you find your own fucking item. It's true. But, I'm curious what you guys have to say about that. Now, a solution that I could see that would still allow for a sort of trading, if you will, and eliminate incentivized bots and eliminate using real-world money to buy in-game gear is if you were to have... Now, don't get your panties in a bunch here. But if you were to have an in-game auction house, all right? And when you find items, you could throw them up in the auction house. And they'll say list at a random time at the price that you set for them. And you could only sell them for gold. And the in-game gold that you attain through selling items to merchants or killing shit out in the wild or in dens or dungeons or whatever that you gather gold from, all that gold, in this case then, will have to be bound in your account. Because then you can't buy the gold for a third-party website like they do in World of Warcraft and then buy the shit in the auction house with it. There won't be any of that because the only way you could get your gold is by picking the shit up or selling your items to the merchants, you see? So then you could go about different ways. Like if you're not one who, like you could be one who's just like a gold seeker or something. You could try to find optimal ways to just keep gaining gold and gold. And then you're getting rewarded for all your efforts still. Similarly to the Paragon that they did in D3, where their idea behind it on paper was interesting, but it was a mess in action. Where they wanted to always have you being rewarded for every time you get on. So you get a little bit more Paragon experience, a little bit more Paragon experience, but it was just an endless thing and you didn't have any big breaks or big, or things to look forward to outside of just little tiny minuscule gains. Which isn't good for endgame. But I think that system could still be implemented in D4 in the sense that it's applicable to your gold finding, where even if you didn't find a GG item, even if you didn't level up to your next, big skill you're looking to get, you could still at least say, well, at least I made some gold. Because the gold then you could use on the auction house to potentially buy endgame items, which in theory then would be very expensive. But nonetheless, I think that would be a great solution. Well, I'm curious what you guys have to say about that. But really, as mentioned, in its current iteration, how it is in D2 and World of Warcraft for that matter, if we want free trading in the game or open trading, then that means that we want bots and we want the ability for people to buy their items with real money as well, because that goes along with it. And there's really no way around that apparently, unless if you go with a system that I just suggested. And I think that would be a healthy medium, and maybe even that would be the best scenario. But curious what you guys have to say about that. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace be with you.